Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Thursday, October 15th, 2020. We are again in the final hour of the trading day, my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions. I say this because I like to make my buying and selling decisions based upon what the large financial institutions are doing at the end of the day. In the middle of the day, you have the day traders and the algorithms. They are in control of the price. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions come in with size. They're dealing with the most money. They take control of the price away from the day traders and algorithms. They're dealing with the most money, like I said. They have very smart people, best technology, best information, and I consider what they are doing at the end of the day the smart move, and I think there's an edge in following what the large financial institutions do at the end of the day. So thank you all for coming. Nice to see everyone. I always look forward to this time of the day. I appreciate you coming here, spending your time. I hope it's helping you with your trading and your investing. Oh, 1 second here. Sorry about that. Okay, so listen. Interesting day today. The Dow is down 16 points. It was down 300 and change, something like that earlier. So it's made a nice recovery. It's down only 0.04%. The NASDAQ is down 76.51, down 0.68%. And the S&P is down 8.21, down about 0.25%. So the NASDAQ's definitely getting the worst of it today. But we've had a nice little comeback here. We've had a nice little bit of a rally. So grateful for that. All right. Well, listen, here's the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage it going forward. After that, we're going to take a look at a couple of my day trades. I'm happy to say the streak is alive and well, day 13. 13 days in a row of having profitable day trades. So I'm grateful to have a personal best today and see if I can continue it to day 14 tomorrow, but we'll see. You never know. After that, we are going to take a look at your positions. I have them up on the board here. We're going to go through each one by one and see how they're doing. I do see some green. I didn't see a whole lot of green earlier, but I do see some green. So that's fantastic. After that, we are going to talk a little bit about trader psychology, good trading words of wisdom, something outside of charts and indicators, focusing on the most important skill in trading. I know I say this every day, but I really, really mean it. The most important skill that you can hone, refine, develop is your skill of discipline and following your plan. Maybe if you're a new trader, maybe that doesn't resonate. If you've been trading for quite a long time, I'm sure it does resonate because you probably think back of all the times you didn't follow your plan and how it cost you money or cost you lost profits to the upside as well. So I think it's very important. We're going to talk about that. Then we are going to go down. I've gone down through the results of my watch list. I've also gone through the results of Kamal Scanner today. I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a trade. First, confluence or combination of indicators lining up ideally on multiple time frames. The more buyer, if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible, you have a much better chance of having a profitable trade if you're long. Think about it the other way. If you're the only buyer and everyone else is selling, then it's probably not going to give you a very good chance to have a profitable trade. So we want to tip the odds in our favor, and I like to look for confluences of signals on multiple time frames. Basically, it just means that they're going to be different groups, intraday groups, daily groups, weekly groups, on all sorts of different type of indicators that they're buying, all coming in at the same time, and that causes momentum. That causes things to go up. So that's number one. Number two, even if we have a good confluence, we always have to make sure we have a good risk to reward ratio. I think risk to reward ratios are probably the most underutilized analysis in trading, that and adjusting for volatility. So 2 to 1 is my minimum. I want to make sure that I have the possibility to make at least 2 times or more to the upside compared to what I am risking on the downside. And then number 3, please take a few minutes every day, think about how many positions you have, how much account heat you have, how correlated your positions are. Ideally, it'd be good to have positions that are not correlated. Ideally, it would be good to have trade setups that are totally different in an ideal world. Sometimes it's hard to do, but we should strive for that. So those are the 3 requirements. I'm going to go down through the potentials. I've put the potentials off to the left side, or I'll put the potentials off to the left side upon first blush. If they look good, at the end of the day, I'll try to go through them, find the very, very bestest one that meets the 3 requirements that I just mentioned. All right, and then if I find something, I'll go ahead and place the trade at the end of the day. If anybody has any questions after the market closes, please let me know. Happy to answer them. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at before the market closes, put them in the chat, put an emoji or an asterisk by it. I'll do my very best to get to them before the close. And then lastly, if you have any new entries or exits today that you would like me to update on the board, if you could please wait till the end of the day, I would really appreciate it. That way the market is closed, I'm done teaching, I'm done trading myself, and then we'll be able to spend as much time as we need to get those all taken care of, okay? So that's the plan for today. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Hang tight. I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thanks a lot. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let me make sure my mic is on. Yes, good. All right, let's take a look. Evan is here. Hi, Evan. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Quad Racer is here. Good afternoon, Greg and group. Good afternoon, Quad. Kamal is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Nice chatting with you today. Kamal says, apologies, Greg. I forgot to send you the 11:30 scan. That's okay. I got the first one, and I have a bunch of the possibilities up there. If there's something that you see that I don't mention, please point it out, and we'll take a look. Johan is here. Hi, Johan. Good to see you. Dan is here. Hi, friends. Hey, how's it going? Steve Burns. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you coming to the chat every day, Steve. I really do. I always look forward to seeing you. I know everyone else does. Thank you for everything that you do with your great information and your posts and everything that helps us become better traders and investors. Steve says, glad to be in cash today and watching for my 10:30 EMA crossover confirmation. Yeah, that was pretty close. Yeah, nice being in cash. Good job there, Steve. Steve got out of, he went to cash yesterday, which is good because today it's not so bad now, but earlier it was ugly. But yeah, Steve's looking for that 10:30 EMA crossover confirmation on the VIX. Let's take a look real quick. 2665, 2667. So if the market does sell off a little bit here towards the end of the day, we'll have the 10:30 EMA crossover, in which case Steve will initiate one of his trading methodologies, which is buying in the money puts as long as the 10 is above the 30 on the VIX. Weekly at the money puts with the increased volatility. So I guess we'll have to take a look and see what happens at the end of the day, right, Steve? Frank is here. Hey, Frank, good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Tracy Peterson is here. Hey, Tracy, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. If Paxton's there near you, please give him my best. Steve says, nasty IBB gap down today. Let's take a look. Oh, big gap. Big gap on biotechs. Yes, yes. Ooh, down 2.25%. Bob says, hello, everyone. Hi, Bob. David says, ho, Greg and group. I think that meant hi, but maybe he meant ho. I don't know. Good to see you, Dave. Good to see you. Okay. Well, let's get started. Kind of an ugly day over here. Let's see. Is anyone else in this with me? No. All right. I did buy Lockheed Martin at 388.26 back here on the 12th of October. Higher low V1, crossover, MACD positive. Next day didn't do much. Yesterday, Had a good up day, hit a profit target, which is again why I like to phase out when things go my way, because in this case, I hit a profit target, I locked in some profit at higher levels than I bought it, and then if we get a big puke down like we did today, obviously that's no fun, but I had fewer shares on the downside, so it mitigates the loss. My stop on this trade here is halfway of this washout bar, the washout bar where I used on the day that I entered. Looks very likely that we're going to close below this halfway of this washout bar. I will have to get out and take a loss. But again, using the phase out method, taking some profits up here, locking them in, market can't take them back away from you. And if you have a big plunge down like this today, it mitigates the loss. If it, some reason, I mean, I guess it could, the market's rallying here towards the end. If it closes and holds halfway that washout bar, I will keep it. But very likely, it looks like I'll be selling this for a loss. SPY. Oh, this was nasty. I've been on such a run with the SPY that I don't know. I kind of guessed, like I felt like it was coming because it was so many up days in a row. But I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. I sell it first thing the next morning. This is based upon a back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest. They tested two approaches. First approach, every day since 1993. Buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell it at the close. Using this approach every day returned a negative 13.9% return. The opposite, this is the one that I use, buy SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, sell first thing the next morning. This approach, positive 634.2% return. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. It may never work again, but if I'm going to allocate money into a trade, it's going to be a trade that has good back-tested results, like this one. Blue line, buy the close, sell the next morning. Orange line, buy the morning, sell the close. You can see it's not even close over time. The overnight SPY trade has just gone up and up and up. There are drawdowns, significant drawdowns, multi-year drawdowns. So you have to be aware that this is not like a high percentage winner, and there are streaks. I mean, look at this streak. This was a 7-year streak up, and then a 3-year streak down, and then a 6-year streak up and a 2-year streak down. And then you see what I mean? So it's a wild one. It's like riding the bucking bronco. So if you're considering using this, use a small position size. I think 5% would be a good starting position size. 5% of your capital that you buy in the afternoon and sell the next morning. And the other thing I would mention too is, if you are considering using this, be consistent with it. Don't pick and choose which days you're going to do it. When I kind of sit here and look at it, I'm never right. I am never right. I just buy it and that's it. But I got womped up on today. I bought it yesterday at 347.93 and I sold the absolute, well, not the absolute, but I sold bottom at 343.72. So that was a big hit. 347.93, sold it at 343.72. Yeah, so a little over 4 points overnight. You know, the other day I was talking about all these gaps, and we filled 2 of them. We filled this one and we filled this one. This one's still open. This one's still open. So anyway, that's a bummer, but that's how it goes with the overnight SPY trade. I was so close to being even on the year, which I never even thought would be possible after the hammer that I took in February and March. So close to being even for the year, but today didn't help that out. Drove it into the red a little bit. But since I've been using this, which is coming up on 2 years, net, it is profitable, and it's a very simple trade. So I will be buying this again today at the close. Now, speaking of SPY, I also did buy SPY back here along with Brian with the 1050 crossover, 333.82. Had a beautiful run up. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I sold half of my position yesterday when we closed below the previous day's low. This is a crossover trade. This is a trend trade. So I want to give this one a little bit more room to breathe. So I did sell half here, which I'm really glad, right? Lock in those profits. But at this point, I'm going to give it a little bit room to breathe. A lot of my trades, I don't give a lot of room to breathe, but a trend trade, that is the type of trade that you would want to have, but still nicely positive. Monster Energy. All right, Brian and I bought Monster Energy with the 1050 EMA crossover, same as the SPY. Bought it at 332. Oh no. There we go. That was SPY. Yas, David, and myself did buy Monster at 80.97 again with the 1050 EMA crossover. Moved up nicely, did move more than 1.5 ATRs for my entry. Yesterday I sold half of my position when we closed below the low of the previous day's low. The 5 is still, or the 10 is still above the 50. The price is still above both the 10 and the 50, and the 10 is above the 50. So again, this is a trend trade. It's going to take a little bit more than this to get me out of this trend trade, but still profitable on the trade. Came down, got really close to my entry point, but still profitable again because I phased out along the way up, and then I sold half of the position yesterday. So I hope that makes sense. Facebook. Okay, this is a good teaching example. Johan and I bought Facebook back here at 263.89 with this nice higher low V2, false breakout to the downside. Moved up beautifully for us, did get above 1.5 ATRs. Once it gets there, if I get a close below the previous day's low, I get out. So I got out of half yesterday. And again, remember, I scale out. So even on these big bars, I get something up here. I lock some profits in whenever we have a certain move up. Yesterday, with a close below the previous day's low, I locked in half of what I had remaining plus the profits that I took on the scaling. Now, once I get to 1.5 ATRs from my entry, and then I get a close below the previous day's low, then if the price ever comes back to my entry point, I get out with the remaining shares at break even. And that's exactly what happened today. So still a profitable trade because again, scaled out, locked in half yesterday, came back down to my entry point, had to get out of the entire position. So I am out of the position, but it was still a nice profitable trade. And that's why, you know, the approach that I used to scaling out, getting rid of half, moving my stop loss to break even after a certain point, it really works well for me. So I am out of Facebook here. Okay, so those are my regular trades. All right, here we go. Day trades. As Apple was nearing the 50 moving average on the 5-minute, it also rejected the 10 EMA. It also was, we moved back up. Here's the down move. We moved back up to about 50% Fibonacci. So this is where I shorted. I didn't wait for a V1 or a V2 or anything like that. I just went ahead and shorted here at 120.51. And it immediately went down. I covered half my position here at 119.47 when I had this false breakout to the downside in a V1. And then we rallied, came back, it did it again, so I got out there. So I shorted at 120.51. I covered half at 119.49, and I covered half at 119.47. So that was a good start to the day. That was early in the day for a short. And then over on the Qs, this is an interesting trade. This was to the long side. Here we go. Here was my entry. We had a V2 rejection of the 30 RSI and rejection of the negative 30 ATR channel. I bought here at 287.26. Moved up beautifully, right here, it rejected the 50 RSI. So I got out of half there. So I entered at 287.26, got out of half at 288.81. It had moved more than 1.5 ATRs for my entry. So I got out of this because we rejected something to the upside here. I got out of another half when we closed below the low, the previous day's low. So I had a full position here, sold half here, sold another half here, giving me only a quarter position left. Now, when that happens and I decide, okay, I'm going to let this one breathe a little bit, if it ever comes back down to my entry point, again, I will get out at break even, but overall a profitable trade because I locked in here. And so look what happened. It came right down to my entry point, which, you know, it's okay. It was still a profitable trade, but then it just took off. Had it not got down there, I would have just held it the rest of the day and either waited for the end of the day or waited for rejection of the 70 RSI like right here. So anyway, 2 profitable trades. Glad for that. All right. Oh. Sorry. I also took a swing trade here on the Qs at 277.80 with the 520 crossover, moved up, came back down. This is a crossover trade, so when it closed below both the 5 and the 20, I got out of half, but I kept the other half, luckily, because I had a nice, beautiful run up this way. I got out of another half of my position yesterday when we had it close below the previous day's low, and similar to what I just showed you on the day trade, now if it comes back down to now I only have a quarter position left, but if it does come back down to my break even point, I will just get out but still have a profitable trade because I locked in things higher. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. The Qs have had a nice comeback today, but still down 0.65%. Quad says, agreed, Steve Burns. Happy I am in cash. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that, Quad. I always seem to have a week or two every month where I'm stuck in cash waiting for the next signal. That's a great spot to be in, Quad. Honestly. Doesn't seem fun, but it shows maturity of a trader that they can sit in cash. So I like to hear that. Zach says, hi, Greg and the Gossets. Hey, Zach, good to see you. Quad says, is that the official group name, the Gossets? Could be. Somebody called it the Gosseteers once. Frank has a poem for us. Let's take a look. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race, and every trader finds their pace. This isn't a game of do or die or outperforming the other guy. It's you, the trader, that sets the tone, so work within your comfort zone. Oh my gosh, how good is that, everybody? How good is that? And you know, it's so true. I've traded with lots of people over the years, and somehow, you know, they get like this competitive streak. And I'm like, I don't understand why you're being competitive. Sometimes I'm going to do better. Sometimes you're going to do better. It depends on what methodologies we use. And just be happy if you're not in a trade and somebody's making money. Really, be happy for them. I know people that are not happy when other people are having winning trades. It's horrible. Let's read it one more time. Slow and steady wins the race, and every trader finds their pace. So true. This isn't a game of do or die or outperforming the other guy. It's you, the trader, that sets the tone, so work within your comfort zone. Man, that's so good, Frank. That is just freaking 5 stars. That's one of your best ones. It's unbelievable. Thank you, sir. Zach says, I don't mind being a Gossett. I mean, where was Gladys without her pips? Oh, there you go. Good reference. Quad says, Frank, that was fantastic. That was unbelievable. Cheers, Frank. That was awesome. Thank you, Quad and Zach. Yeah, it's just so good. David likes it too. Kamal likes it. Mark is here. Hey, Mark. Cool poem, Frank. Oh, man. It's like one of the best ones ever. Dan gives handshakes, hand claps all around. Frank says, thanks, Mark. Glenn says, thought about creating a book of poems. Yeah, we've talked about that many times. Don't you think that would be a good idea, Mark? I mean, there's so many traders that would buy that. They're so good, and we've got them all. I post them every day. Kamal says, I am going to buy Match today. FAS and AGQ also have buy signals. Yep, I have those in the list, so we'll check those out. Johan says, awesome poem, Frank. Man, I would say unbelievable. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at your trades. Brian bought a half position of TTWO, Take-Two Interactive Software. He bought it yesterday at 168.80. It is down 0.46% today, but well off its low. So slightly underwater on the trade. It is down on the day and slightly underwater, but beautiful comeback. So glad to see that, Brian. Intel, so strong. Intel has been strong. Look at that, up today, 0.65%. Gary sold puts on Intel all the way down to $45. It's at $53.90. This means that as long as the price stays above $45 by November 20th, Gary will be able to keep all the premium. So that's looking very, very likely now. I'm sure he's somewhere like 75% of the premium anyway. So very nice. NVAX, Johan bought NVAX at 111.17. It is now 111.99. It is green on the day, which is really good. So it is up on the day, and Johan is still up on the trade. So very nice. RBA, Mark bought RBA Ritchie Brothers at 60.61. It is now 63.63. It's up today. Fantastic. Is the market up? Okay, the Dow just went positive. 63.63. It is up on the day, and he's nicely up on the trade. Congratulations, Mark. QLD, looks like we have Yas. I think only Yas. Yep, only Yas. Took it with the 1030 EMA crossover. Bought it here at roughly 92.95. It is now 99.58. It is down 1.12% today, but it is up still nicely on the trade. So congratulations, Yas. AQN, Glenn Mark bought AQN at 15.29. It is now 15.64. Is up today, up on the day, up on the trade. Amazon had a big comeback. Glenn bought Amazon back here at 29.61. Way down there. It is now 33.46, down 17 points, down about 0.5% on the day, but nice recovery like everything else. So little bit down on the day, but nicely up on the trade, which is fantastic. Google, Gary sold puts on Google down at 1200. It is now 15.65, so he's well in the money. He'll keep all the premium as long as it closes above $1,200 by November 20th. So very nice there. Nice comeback too. LVGO, Frank bought LVGO at 132.50, went up the next day, came back down. It was a little bit of some bearish price action. He sold half, but he kept the other half. That's the beauty of the 50-50 approach, and good thing he held that other half. It is down a little bit today, but he's still up nicely on the trade overall. CRM, Brian bought CRM here at 251.20. It is 257.31. Is down 1.72% today, but he is still up on the trade, which is important. When you go underneath your entry point, that's when you need to think about getting out. But when it's above, you can be patient with it. There's all sorts of things you can do to be creative about holding and phasing out to the upside when you're positive. That's one thing. But if you're negative, you should probably go ahead and get out. Exxon, Gary sold Exxon puts. No, he bought calls at $35. So Exxon's going to have to be above $35 by November 20th in order for Gary to make money on these calls. Nice higher low V1 today. This is one of the ones on my watch list that I'm looking at buying today. It is up today, so that's good. and a nice rejection of the -1 ATR channel and a V1, and we had the move from here to here. It came back down to about 50% and bounced there. So there are some confluences there of signals. So I will be looking possibly to buy Exxon today myself. Wing, Kamal, nice trade on Wing at 132. It is now 133.32, up 2.22%. Very nice, Kamal. Up on the day, up on the trade. Coca-Cola, yes, looks like he's still in Coca-Cola. Bought at 49.63, moved up nicely, but then we had a pull back down. It is down 0.38% today, but he is up still on the trade. What else do we have here? We have Walmart. Brian bought Walmart back here 140.69. It is now 144.74. Up on the day and nicely up on the trade. And lastly, EA. Brian bought a half a position of EA at 132.70. This one is down on the day, and this one is down on the trade. It's at 131.63. So all in all, not bad, everybody. Not too shabby. Not too shabby, especially considering how this morning started. So real quick, Lockheed Martin. I will be getting out of Lockheed Martin today unless it closes above this purple line here. So I will be getting out of this, taking a loss. Facebook, I am out of because I phased out, took half, back to my entry point. That's the end of the trade for me, but it was positive. Oh, and I always forget, Gary, Frank, I'm so sorry. I always forget because I'm always trading Apple, and I have it over in a different section here. Frank is in Apple from 111. It is now 120.92, so nicely in the money. And Gary is in Apple at 116.31. So both of these fine gentlemen are nicely in the money. Came right back down, bounced off the 1 ATR channel and the 10 EMA. So well off of its lows, only down 0.2% today. So fantastic, everybody. Fantastic. Hey, Jesse's here, Sarge375. Hey, Greg and gang. Hey, Jesse, good to see you. Jesse had, I shared that post yesterday about perfect practice and excellence and all that. That was from Jesse, Sarge375, the guy that I said, if you're ever held hostage, this is the dude that you want to come rescue you, and he would get it done as well. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for visiting. Gary says, hello, Greg and group. Hi, Gary. Good to see you, bud. Nice going on your on your put spreads that you sold. Those are all doing good. I just went over them. Steve Burns says, I'm adding triple leveraged index ETF to my watch list. XPXL UDOW. Here, I better copy this so I can look at it more closely later. Oh, come on here. Don't give me problems now. Okay. Okay, I'm going to add triple leverage to my watch list. SPXL, UDOW, and TQQQ. I will be trading them using many of my short-term moving average crossover signals, 520, 530, 1030 crossovers on most. Disney is now close to a 1050 EMA crossover. Let's take a look at Disney. $125.61, $125.82. All right, I don't know if that one will cross today, but if it does, if somebody could let me know, I would appreciate that. Oops, that's not right. All right, I'll put that down there on the watch list. Okay, the Dow's up, it's just about even. NASDAQ's down 37, S&P is down 3, so well, looks like it's all back red again for a second. All right, so listen, before we get on to going through potential entries, potential setups today. Just want to talk a little bit about trader psychology. Again, I said this earlier, but it's the best skill and the most necessary skill that you need to develop in trading is discipline, following a plan, putting together a plan. It's not that hard if you know a little bit about technicals, be able to put together a good, decent trading plan based upon good trading fundamentals, right? But following that plan, that's the whole other approach. Just like trying to lose weight, we know how to do it. Everybody knows how to do it. If you really want it, you can do it. You know, you eat better food, you exercise more, that's going to do it. But even though we know how to do it, it's hard to do it sometimes, right? Maybe you want that donut, maybe you want that ice cream, maybe you don't want to work out, but it depends. You know, if somebody really wants to lose weight, like really, and they've made up their mind to it, they will do it. And it's the same with trading. Trading is not that difficult. Putting yourself in a position where you have potential for big wins and getting out quickly when you're wrong. That's the key. But fear and greed come in, mess with us all the time. So there's some really good channels out there that do a great job of posting good information about trading psychology, different things to think about. And this is from Akil Stokes, famous trading coach. He's over on Twitter. He's at Akil Stokes RTM on Twitter. Really good channel. Seems like a really good guy. I don't know him, but I read his stuff all the time. But do yourself a favor, go over, subscribe to what he does. Let's see what he has to say here. In order to produce consistent results that you can rely on, you're going to have to acquire an edge. I'm defining an edge as there is a higher probability of one thing happening over another. This is from Mark Douglas, right? Mark Douglas wrote Trading in the Zone. Very influential book that I've read many, many times on the topic of trader psychology. But, you know, everyone's heard you got to have an edge, right? You have to have an edge. I remember when I first, where is this edge? Where can I buy this edge? I need to get myself an edge. Does Amazon sell an edge, right? Well, Amazon wasn't really around back then. But I guess there's lots of different definitions of an edge, but I think this is really good. There's a higher probability of one thing happening over another. So let's, what are certain edges? Well, we can do back testing over the 200-day moving average. We know there's an edge in there on certain indexes like the SPY and the Qs and things like that, or the 250-day moving average. The overnight SPY trade, I just showed you that earlier. That has an edge. Did not do well today with it, but overall, it has an edge, and overall the edge has played out for me because it is positive ever since I've started to use it, right? V1s, V2s, crossovers, rejections of 200-day moving averages, or other types of trades have an edge. So you really need to be able to quantify your trading process and quantify that what you're trading has an edge. If it doesn't have an edge, you're going to lose money slowly over time. You go into a casino and play, you do not have an edge. The casino has the edge, and it's a mathematical certainty edge. That's why they make money just all the time, right? Over time, they're always going to make money. Well, you can be the casino, you can have the edge, but you need to find a trading approach that has quantified edge, like under over 200, moving average crossovers, overnight SPY trades, return to value V1s, V2s, return to value V1s, or higher low V1s, V2s, something like that. So Akil says, either you have the edge or the markets do. If you have to question whether or not your strategy does or not, you need to stop trading immediately and find out. If not, you will go broke. Eventually, you will go broke. Eventually, if you play in a casino long enough, you will go broke because they have the edge, you don't. You need to, if you don't know if you really have an edge, like Akil says, you need to stop trading and do some research on what has an edge. So anyway, thank you, Akil, but I thought this was really good. Thanks to Mark Douglas. Thanks to Akil Stokes for this really great post. Hope that was helpful. Okay, Evan says RSG. It's pretty good, Evan. Look, we closed below the -1 ATR channel. We rally back up into the value zone. We've had a couple days down. This is a beautiful V1. Here's day one, here's day two. Day two washes out day one. Day two closes above day one's close, or it is right now. So that's a valid higher low V1. Also above the 50-day moving average, also above the 5, the 10, and the 20. Let's quickly check the weekly. Weekly is, it's okay. It's okay. It's above the 1 ATR channel. It's hanging out between the 2nd ATR channel and the 1 ATR channel. Looks like it's holding the 5 EMA on the week. So, who knows? But if you do take this today, if it were me, I would be, today is the washout bar. If we have a close tomorrow below halfway of today's bar, that's where I would get out. So we don't know if it's going to go up. I mean, if we did, boy, we'd make a whole lot of money, right? But being that we don't have that luxury, you have some nice upward potential here compared to what you're risking. So that's what it's all about. I like it. I like it. Steve says, I do have a 10-30-day SMA buy on Google today. Okay, let's look over on Google. So yes, we do have a 10-30 SMA crossover. You can see the pink line crossed over here. Google is actually up. Oh, as soon as I said it, it went red. Is down just 21 cents today. I do have a rule. Doesn't always work for me, but it is a rule. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But if the price is above the 2nd ATR channel when a crossover happens, I have to pass on the trade. And sometimes it costs me, sometimes it saves me, but I have to stick with my rules. And so far, I have to stick with this. So I will not be taking this because the crossover happened, yes, but it happened above the 2nd ATR channel. So good luck with that, Steve, if you take it. Evan says, thanks for looking. Yeah, I like that trade, Evan. I like that trade. All right, let me check something very quickly. Sorry, give me 1 second. Republic Services, huh? All right, there we go. I manage another account, so I had to make a little adjustment on something. Okie dokie. Well, look, let's start going down here and seeing what's available. KMX has a nice false breakout to the downside and a V1. You can see the false breakout to the downside came here, went down below these lows, rejected them, came back up, also has a V1, also closing in the value zone. It's at a 43 RSI. In this location here, you kind of have to talk to yourself and go, okay, what's the risk to reward? 50 is probably up here. We don't know what's going to get rejected there. I do like that false breakout to the downside. I do like that it's a V1. I do like that it's closing in the value zone. So this one will be a potential. BA, which is Boeing. We came down. We made a lower high. We did wash out the low now. I believe we did. Last time I checked it, yes. And a V1. Did it already reject the 50-day or the 50 RSI? I think it did. Ugh, so close. So close. I'm a little concerned with all these moving averages here, this cluster of this 5 and the 10 and the 20 right here. It would sure be nice if this thing could close above the 50-day moving average, though, or the 50 RSI and these bands here. But then you also have that 50. So I'll keep it on here as potential. I do like Boeing today. I like the higher low. See, we closed below the value zone. We came into the value zone. We came back down. We have now rejected the -1 ATR channel and formed a nice V1. So Exxon is definitely a potential for me today as well. VIX gapped up big in reverse. Let's check Steve's crossover on VIX. Right now, it does not look like the crossover is happening. Match, looking pretty good. Return to value, sideways movement, V1. Yeah, I have to say that does look pretty good. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I mean, it's a really nice return to value, sideways motion, V1. This one's probably better than the rest. Probably better than CarMax because of the false breakout to the downside plus the V1, and we're over the moving averages. So I do quite like that one. So let's see, I'm going to get rid of VIX. AGQ does have a higher low V1 and false breakout to the downside. MACD is positive. This is double leverage silver. Fast return to value V1, but there was no sideways motion. So that's what I don't like. And it's over the 1 ATR channel. So I'm going to let that one go. Gold gap down. Okay, so this is a higher low V1 as well. It looks like this one's already rejected the 50 RSI. MACD is positive. This big down bar here concerns me because we're stuck right about in the halfway. That me personally on gold, I'm just going to wait for the 520 to cross over because that is a really good back tested motion and will show some positive upward movement. Right now we could really be range bound here with this big down bar that we're caught in the middle of. So Disney, I like where Disney is at. Let's take a look. Disney 125.61 and 125.82. So that one is not quite there yet. We'll watch that one. We'll put that over here. CBOE. No, I don't really see anything there. Western Alliance. No, too high. XLRE to V1, but no sideways motion. CMG up nicely today, but too extended. VIPS. Close above the 200-day moving average. I don't like it's got sold into 3 times here, rejected the 50. IT, wow, that's interesting, isn't it? Boy, that's a tough one. I think there's better. Zoom is zooming on up here. Fantastic. Nice trend trade on this one here, but just too high for me to buy. It's at a 70 RSI. FDS. Actually kind of like that higher low V1 right there, but it only trades 94,000 shares. Yelp. Nice higher low V1. I just don't like yesterday's down bar that was larger than 1 ATR. Pets. Nice V1. Everything looks pretty good. No sideways motion though. So I'm going to let that one go. PLMR, Palomar Holdings. And no, I don't like that one. And Google, we talked about Google with Steve with the 1030 SMA crossover, but I don't. Oh yeah. But again, it's beyond the second ATR channel. So for that one's out for me. All right, I have about 9 minutes to go. Let me check Lockheed Martin. I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and sell Lockheed Martin right now before I forget. Okay, that one's gone. Buying SPY, of course. I am out of Facebook. Okay, so this is the key. CarMax, false breakout to the downside. V1 MACD is not positive. We're struggling at the 1 ATR channel. Over on the weekly, I do like the weekly. I like that we're holding the 1 ATR channel and that 50. And it is strongly up today. Boeing. I like it, but this big bar in the recent past gives me reason to pause. And we're just having issues with that 5 and that 20 and that 10 and the 50 RSI. I do like Exxon. Oil's been pretty strong. Exxon's probably my favorite there. And Match. I gotta say, I kind of like Match also. I don't think Disney's going to quite do it. So for me, it comes down to Match and Exxon. Okay, I think I'm going to take these both. I'm definitely going to take Exxon, and then I'm going to take Match over here with this nice return to value V1, as long as it closes over 50. If it doesn't close over 50, I won't take it. So I think I'm going to go ahead. Well, I guess I'll wait. What do we have? 7 minutes? All right. Oh, Fastly. Yeah. Oh. Man, can you imagine you shorted that? When I saw that yesterday, my first thought was short. It was a lot of signals. V2 to the downside, lost the 70, lost the third. Didn't know that news was going to come out. Look at that. That's unbelievable. In order to fully reject the 50, does it need to go over it and then pull back under? Yeah, or just touch it. Tencent Music. It's not bad. It tested the bottom, plus rejected these lows over here. So it tested this bottom, rejected these lows. I'd like it if it formed a V1. Right now, it's hasn't formed a V1. Yesterday's close was 14.29. Oh yeah, 14.30. Yeah, it's not bad. Let's look at the weekly. In the value zone. Yeah, it's pretty good. Not bad. What's happening here? Viper Energy Had a V2 yesterday. Honestly, I don't see anything here that would get me interested in that. Yes. Wing. Didn't I already go over Wing? Oh, as a new entry, Kamal? Yeah, but you're already in it. Would I buy it again here? I don't know. That kind of big bar there yesterday scares me. It's okay, though. I guess it's right about 1 ATR. Nice V1 rejection. Yeah, it's decent. There's no doubt about it. An INSG. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, Kamal. False breakout to the downside and a V1 and a double bottom with a missing right shoulder. That one's quite good. Okay, so listen, I'm going to have to make my trades here. Sorry, I can't go. I'll look at those comments after. Honestly, I like INSG better than Match. Okay, I better have enough time. Let's see. All right. Come on now. Oh man, are you kidding me? Okay. All right, I'm going to start with Exxon. Oh man. Come on now. My computer is giving me issues here. I actually may not even be able to buy all these, depending how much time I have left. Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. I'm not going to be able to do it. My platform's slow there. I got the Exxon trade off, unfortunately, but I'm not going to have the time to do it. It's like frozen up on me. Okay, so I got Exxon at least. Okay, so all I bought was Exxon. Sometimes this platform kind of has a delay to it, and if I try to do too much, it freezes up and I have to restart it, so I didn't want that to happen. Okay, so let's take a look here. Can I see my transactions? Yes. All right, so I did buy the SPY at 347.50. and I bought Exxon at 34.40. And I did not buy INSG, although I would have if I could have. Shoot. Oh well, that's how it goes. All right, so Exxon I bought at 34.40 with this nice higher low V2. And then SPY I bought at very close to where I bought it yesterday. 347.50. Okay. All right. And as I said, I'm out of Facebook. I'm out of Lockheed Martin. Boy, that almost came back and closed back above, but it didn't. So, all right. So that's what I have. Okay, so listen, if you have any new additions today or subtractions up on the board, go ahead, put them in the live stream, in the chat, sorry, and then I'll get them all updated and I'll answer the rest of your questions that I wasn't able to get to there because we were closing. But before I do, I just real quickly want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I think I have a really good course that I teach. I have been trading for over 24 years. I've studied one-on-one with some of the great authors and traders out there that you'll know of, like Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams. The course I teach, I incorporate everything that I've learned from my teachers and mentors into the course. I think it's a very valuable course. I think you'll learn a lot. I know you'll be a much better trader when you're finished with it. In my opinion, the best way to learn something is long form, one-on-one, where you can ask your teacher questions right away, and you do a lot of repetition, and that's what we do. I teach, you teach it back to me, and then we go through setup after setup after setup, and we actually make actual trades every setup we do. Where's your entry? Where's your emergency stop? Where's your end of day stop? Where's your intermediate term profit target? Where's your ultimate profit target? How are you going to phase out? So I think it's a great way to learn. Like I said, I have had really good success with my clients. So if you're interested and you'd like to take this course with me, please reach out to me. You can email me. The email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. And if you do reach out to me, I'll say, hey, nice to hear from you. Let's schedule a Skype call. Skype call is just for me to get to know you better, learn more about you, your trading, your challenges, your goals. It's a good time for you to learn about or ask me questions about my course. It's not a sales call. I will not ask you if you want to take the course. I promise you that. I don't like when people do that. Like I said, I just want to see if we're a good fit. And when we're done with the call, I'll say, nice talking to you. Think it over. If you want to take the course in the future, just email me and we'll set it up. It is $1,000. I think it's worth every penny. I think it's actually worth a lot more than that. I really do. But I think it's a good investment. I really do think it is a good investment. So reach out to me if you're interested. And then if you like today's podcast, I would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. Helps keep the channel around, helps YouTube know that there's something valuable in this channel. And so if you did like the content and it is helping you, if you could just take a half a second before you click out of here, I would really appreciate it if you did that. Okay, so let's take a look here. Glenn's, oh, sorry, there's one up here. Quad says, let's hope anyone that was in Fastlane got out. Zach says, in order to fully reject the 50, doesn't need to go back over it and then back under. So 49.50 doesn't qualify. Needs to hit and go back down, over or under, back down. Yes, technically that is correct. Okay, Steve is long Google. At 1559.85, and I'm going to put a note up here that says Steve 1030 SMA cross. Okay, gotcha. Good luck with that, Steve. David says, I bought PLTR. Oh, what is that one? PLTR at $9.50. Wow, well, you got a good price on it then. Way to go, Dave. $9.50. All right. Boy, you got, that's, percentage-wise, that's a heck of a trade. That's already up 4.14%. Way to go, Dave. Okay, match. Okay, this is Frank, right? Yeah, this is Frank. Frank, 1/4. Yeah, I would have taken that. I would have taken that if I didn't have that slowdown thing with my platform there. If it would have happened 10 minutes before, I could have fixed it, but it was happening right in the last couple minutes. But that's a nice return to value. V1 did close over the 50. False breakout to the downside. Hope that goes up for you, Frank. Okay, Johan is out of Facebook. Okay, with me. So anyway, that was still a money maker. So good for that. Oh, Johan's in match. Okay. And in Exxon. Okay. And in TME. Did Kamal take INSG? Dan says, someone hit the thumbs up button. Thank you, Dan. Gary says, no new trades. Tried to buy INSG, but was late on the buzzer with my platform. Guess it wasn't meant to be. Same with me. Quad says, I took INSG. Gary says, IMSG kept going up by 1 cent every time I placed my limit order, but was but was able to snag it at the close. Kamal says, I am going to wait till tomorrow on each on entry intraday for INSG and AGQ. Match. Gary says, Quad, good luck with the trade. Frank says, that's okay. Anything to do with dating has always been costly. That's why the quarter position. Hey, that makes sense. That makes sense. For sure. That's funny too. Man, I'm going to read that poem one more time by Frank because it's so good. Slow and steady wins the race, and every trader finds their pace. This isn't a game of do or die or outperforming the other guy. It's you, the trader, that sets the tone, so work within your comfort zone. That's so good. Unreal. Okay, so let's see what's happening after hours here. Apple's down. SPY's up 12 cents. Exxon's down 3 cents. All right. Kamal says, criticism on match. I don't really have any. I mean, look, monthly is in an uptrend. Weekly has come back down into the value zone. Daily, we had above the 1ATR channel, back in the value zone, sideways motion, V1, false breakout to the downside. I mean, if I had any criticism whatsoever, I mean, if it closed over the 10, it would be a little bit better. No, I like it. I mean, if MACD was positive, that would be better. I don't see, I would have taken this. I would have taken this for sure. And then INSG. I like it. Double bottom, bullish divergence, MACD is positive, false breakout to the downside. Rejection of the -1 ATR channel. On the weekly, we're in the value zone. The only criticism, and it's not even criticism because I would still have taken the trade, you know, it's a little close to the 50 RSI, but the way that I trade, if tomorrow it goes up, rejects the 50 RSI, comes back down, I immediately get out of half because that's a warning sign. So that lets me take trades that are closer to the 50 RSI. I don't have any criticism whatsoever on either of those. Kamal. Kamal says, AGQ, what do you think of the 100? Well, it's respected the 100 here, 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 and again here today. Is a higher low V1 and false breakout to the downside. MACD is positive, and we did have a V1 just moving sideways in the value zone. You know, the bar's red, Kamal, where like on your INSG or your INSG went to green, which is stronger. Silver, look, we did get rejected at the 10-day. It's okay. I mean, it's okay. If somebody forced me to take this trade, I'd take it. I would take it willingly. But with the metals, you know, we're so close on the 520 crossover on gold that I'm just going to wait for that. Let's look at regular silver. Yeah, 5 is under the 20. I think waiting for the crossover would be best. But all those trades were good, Kamal. All those setups were good. I really have no issues with any of them other than AGQ. Getting stopped right there at the 10-day. All right. So Steve bought Google today with the 1030. All right. Well, the day trade streak continues. I'll see if I can hold it up one more day tomorrow or even more days from that. But boy, I got whomped up on today on the overnight SPY trade, but that's what happens. So anyway, I am still sitting with the overnight SPY trade, obviously. I am still in the crossover trade on SPY, the 1050. That one's doing nicely. Did sell half yesterday. Monster, still long and profitable on the Monster crossover trade, sold half yesterday. Apple I don't have, but Gary and Frank are doing well on that. And then Qs, I have Qs here with the crossover, 520 crossover. Got out of half here, had the nice leg up, sold half yesterday, which was good, and then we rallied. Looks like we closed above the 5-day. And then my only new entry point today is Exxon. This is a good trade. I mean, I don't know if it's going to go up, but it's a good setup. Nice higher low, came well into the value zone, came back down, not just one day, but several days. And then nice rejection of the -1 to ATR channel, plus the V1. MACD is positive. Kamal says, Greg, tonight at 9? Yes. If for some reason I can't, there's a possibility I have a tentative call. I remembered, Kamal, but most likely it won't happen. But if for some reason it does happen, I will send you a message on Skype. But I think very likely that yes, 100% tonight at 9 Pacific. Frank says, I don't mind being in stock options or commodities. I just don't want to be in hot water. Yes. I don't think they trade hot water, but if they did, we should probably stay out of it. Okay. Well, interesting day today. All right. Well, if anybody has any other questions, let me know. How's everybody doing with their trading? How do they feel about their trading lately? It's been a little volatile the last little bit here. But do people feel like they're making progress on their trading? Do they feel like they're just treading water? Do they feel like they're going backwards? Anybody have any comments on that? Any issues anybody's dealing with? FOMO or not being able to take a trade or anything like that? Frank says, glad you're safe from those cougars. Oh, the cougars I ran into years ago? Yeah. I'll tell you, it was scary, but it was exhilarating. It was exhilarating when it was all over to come that close to cougars. I'll tell you what, Frank, when they growled at me, I mean, it just went through me like the sound waves or whatever. I mean, it just went through me. It's hard to explain. So energy showing a little bit of resiliency here. This is, remember we talked about Exxon and I was like, yeah, it's going up here. I think in this area it's going to pull back, which it's exactly where it did. And it's kind of pulled back, and that higher low, see, people bought here. They had a nice run. When it got weak, they sold like I would have. If I bought down here and it started to get weak, I would sell. That brought supply into the market. But today, a whole new group of buyers came in. So whenever you buy something a lower low, see how this is lower than here? This was actually pretty extended move up, more than I thought. But whenever you buy a lower low, it usually fails, comes down a bit. But then if you can get a new group of buyers here, that's where you can get a significant leg up, because all the people that bought here and here and here sold here. I don't have to worry about those people selling into me anymore, because going up, I don't have anybody to sell. It's like, well, I'll explain that tomorrow. Dan said, oh, four-legged cougars. Yeah, I was talking about four-legged cougars. Quad says, just plugging along at this point, Greg. Profitable, but slower than I'd like. I suppose it is due to the extreme volatility and also my trading a relatively small account. Okay. Well, you're pretty new to it, Quad, and just the mere fact that you're making money puts you in the top 20 percentile. So, it takes a while. But it's profitable. That's what's important. Yes, and there has been a lot of volatility. Ranger Trader says, thank you for your kind words, Greg. Have a good weekend, sir. You too, sir. Thank you very much, Jesse. Always nice to have you here. Come back and visit us again. Zach says, thanks, Greg. Have a good evening. Ranger Trader says, Dan, laughing. Johan says, just last night I saw a clip of a hiker in Utah being chased off by a cougar mom after walking her two cubs on the trail. Yeah, Johan, I had many people call me about that because they knew about my cougar experience. And they said, did you see the videos about the cougars? And I said, I've heard. I didn't see them, but I guess there was the mom and she had her two cubs. And yeah. Yep, I definitely saw that, heard of that, but I didn't watch it. Wow, that was all the way over there in Hong Kong, huh, Johan? Quad says, thumbs up as always. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Well, listen, I am going to, speaking of cougars in the mountains, I'm going to put my hiking boots on, go for a nice hike, maybe listen to a little jazz today. I've been listening to some nice jazz playlists on YouTube, which are pretty nice. So I've been alternating between like Brazilian samba music and jazz. I haven't been listening to a lot of news podcast, anything like that. And I gotta say, you feel better when you don't. Honestly, I kind of took that cue from Frank about listening to music, and so I've been listening to just some good music, and all in all, feel better. All right, everybody. Well, remember, as always, please go out, try to do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile, a wave, help them out, give them a hand, or just be pleasant, right? If we did that every day, it would make the world a lot better place. If you could also do something nice for an animal today, that would be really great. Take your pet on a walk. Just give them a scratch on the head, scratch under the chin, give them a little treat, give them a little cuddle, right? They really, really like that. And they will appreciate it. So one nice thing for a human, one nice thing for an animal, and that'll make the world a better place and make you feel better. Really, I think it really will. So, okay, well, that's it. Frank says, practice that guitar. You know, Frank, I played guitar for years and years and years. I used to play 2-3 hours a day. Maybe I'll have to send you a YouTube of that or something. Yep. Or if you have one, maybe I could see one of yours. Okay, well, that's it. That is it. Have a good rest of your day. Be good, be safe, and hopefully see you tomorrow, Friday, last day of the trading week. Take care, everyone. Bye now. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.